Welcome back to Life in Pinstripes. I am James.
Yeah.
And I am TJ Stolzenberg.
Back to the two of us.
Here we are. Last week was fun. We had we had Craig Jordan on.
Well, you did have me as well.
I had James too. That was a lot of fun. It was fun bringing on Craig, and I was happy to have him. He was a great guest.
I thought he was great the entire time.
He's always wanted to do podcasts. He's been hardcore getting into the Joe Rogan world. He comes to me with all these great stories, great animation, and I think if we have him on as a guest a couple more times, maybe down the road, he'll open up and share some of those fun stories with us, because that man has a plentiful amount.
Well, for him, if he's listening right now, the door is always open for you.
Shout out to you, Craig. And I want to, before we get into everything, give another shout out to my friend Mario. Mario, if you're listening, and I know you are because you're an avid listener, and thank you for the support. You've been ride or die. You've been there through thick and thin, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. Now let's get started. Hey, lots going on in the sports world.
I can't believe it. There's just a lot of things going on.
So much. We didn't even know where to start, but we always start with one thing, the tip of the cap.
Tip of the cap, as always.
Tip of the cap moment of the week. To go to two individuals. First, Dwayne Wade.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just read off some statistics for you. Dwayne Wade was a 3-time NBA champion, 06, 2012, 2013.
All with the Heat.
All with the Heat. He was a 13-time All-Star from 2005 all the way to 2016, skip 17, 18, and then again in 2019.
As always.
His final year. He was a 2-time All-NBA first team, 3-time All-NBA second team, 3-time All-NBA defensive second team. He was the NBA scoring champion in 2009, NBA All-Rookie first team back in 2004, and oh yeah, he was pretty solid in college at Marquette, the USA Conference Player of the Year. That is basketball. Those are statistics. But what we are learning, diving into him more and more, is that he's more than just an athlete. He is an avid activist, especially one specific and very personal aspect of violence, senseless violence. He's been affected on a very personal level. He lost his cousin, a 32-year-old woman, was shot while in a park while 2 other men started opening fire on each other, and she was just caught in the crossfire. One to the arm, one to the head, and unfortunately it was a fatal shot. It's an emotional thing, and the man has taken that emotion. He's taken that and given so much back. Before we got into this, James showed me an amazing commercial that was done by
Budweiser. So everybody knows that Dwayne Wade, obviously it was his final season, one last dance, as everyone calls it.
Yeah.
So Budweiser commemorated a commercial of him saying, "This one's for you, number 3."
He's been going around giving back, trading jerseys with all these NBA legends, and they put him in the middle of this court, and they surprised him with 5 people, human beings from the street that he has affected in very personal ways. One of them being somebody who was a gangbanger and had inspiring words heard from Dwayne Wade, and he changed his life. He came and gave a jacket to him and said, "I wouldn't be wearing this at my job or have my life without you."
He met him 12 years ago, nonetheless.
12 years ago. There was another woman who lost her brother.
In the senseless crimes of the Parkland shooting that happened last year, which was just absolutely just terrible. The fact that when kids go to school and they have to be worried about gun violence, that should never ever happen.
And this woman said, my brother, Dwayne Wade, you were his hero, and you are carrying him now with you wherever you go. And watching Dwayne, the thing that stuck out to me was watching him look directly into the eyes of these people. He is one of the most humble stars I've ever seen.
I agree.
He's, you don't hear much of, we always, like you said, we think of these guys as athletes. And yes, we look up to them as heroes, and we expect so much of them. But how many really answer the call on the streets as much as on the court or the field? Not many. And no. I've learned a lot just in this research and just from learning about the man. If I could tip 55 caps to him, I would. I'm beyond impressed with the man, with the athlete, and he's become a hero of mine. And so this first half of Tip of the Cap Week goes to
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade.
I love this guy. I feared him every time we faced him because you knew he was going to go off.
And he wasn't that great of a three-point shooter.
No, he wasn't.
But when it was crunch time, fourth quarter, and the clock is ticking down, it's almost as if water in his veins. Yes, he only shot, we looked up 29% from three for his career, but most of those were in clutch moments. Yes, he wasn't the best deep shooter, but man, he had so much mid-range game. He was nasty underneath the hoop.
Oh yeah,
he knew creative.
He knew when to drive, and to be aggressive and slam down the basket all the time.
It was beautiful to watch too.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't just he created kissing off the glass, just spin. The man would take very interesting shots, and a lot of them would go in. So you know what? That's a lot of respect, and the league respects him clearly. People such as LeBron James, who had a huge part in the history of Miami because of Dwayne Wade, LeBron chose Miami. They've been best friends and are still best friends to this day.
Of course.
And look at what that did for Miami. Look at what that did for the community. D Wade, you are gravitational. And as I will lead into the next Tip of the Cap moment, you were creative. You had very interesting looking shots, and a lot of them went in, a lot of them crunch time. But nobody had a more interesting shot than our next man, that James will say.
This guy, Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk.
Before I get into Dirk, my favorite Dwayne Wade moment happened this season. You remember the game against the Golden State Warriors? Final seconds, ball gets to him. Gets blocked at first, gets it back, throws an off-balance shot, and it goes in. And you see the entire crowd go wild. I'm like,
nuts.
And of course, it had to be against the Golden State Warriors, which just made it extra special.
Little extra David versus Goliath aspect in there.
Woohoo! But Dwayne Wade, we could talk about you
we could talk about you forever, and you will be remembered.
You think of players of this generation: LeBron, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, and also this guy that we're about to mention, Dirk Nowitzki. Now, when you think of Dirk, 41, 21, and 1. Yes.
What do those numbers mean, James?
All right. Dirk Nowitzki wore number 41.
Okay.
For 21 seasons.
Wow.
With one team.
You don't see that anymore.
With anybody. There's no such thing as loyalty.
You see it with
This guy. El Capitan Derek Jeter. You think of Derek Jeter. You think of Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah.
You think of guys like that. Dirk Nowitzki played 21 seasons all with the Dallas Mavericks.
I remember Dirk, before you get into his awards and accolades.
Of course.
The things I remember most about Dirk, it was that championship in 11.
It wasn't this one? It wasn't his shot?
Doing that. The man was already, I think he's about 6'11", 6'10".
6'11", 7 feet tall around
7 feet
there.
tall. But the man could play like a small forward or a guard. He had an unblockable shot. I'm sure in his career he started shooting and was like, okay, a lot, but I'm getting contested. I don't know what it was, but whatever he did to create open space, the man would do these weird knee-out, fadeaway threes.
And it always goes in.
It always went in. The man was unblockable. So tell us some of the things that he's done and accomplished.
Well, before that, he had the best three-point shot ever. Why do you think his shot was so high? Because they knew that it wasn't going to be blocked.
Yeah,
because his wingspan was so ridiculous, being 7 feet tall. And all.
Yeah.
But get ready for this one.
You ready?
So, we all know about the 21 seasons all with the Dallas Mavericks.
21.
That's equivalent to about 1,522 games with the Dallas Mavericks.
Wow.
That's insane. So, one-time NBA champion in 2011.
You got a ring.
It was also against the first season of the Big Three in Miami.
Yeah, that was against D Wade.
D Wade, LeBron, and Bosh,
who was,
which made it even more impressive.
Yeah,
he's also an NBA MVP. Did that back in 2007, and he joined a very interesting club in 2007 when he won the MVP. 50-40-90 club.
Ooh.
Get ready for this one. The 50-40-90 club, at least 50% or above from the field. 40% from 3-point, and this is the one that gets me the most. 90% from the free throw line.
Ladies and gentlemen, 50, 40, 90.
50 plus 40 is 90.
You see 50. You see that statistic with big men like him, but from down low. Taking very high percentage shots. Taking the 2, 3, 4 foot away from
Creating
the hoop.
space for himself.
But he was taking shots. Actual jump shots. 15-footers. Little baseline weird fadeaway shots. He shot 50% doing that. And then nonetheless, 40% from behind the arc.
That is not an easy feat, but that is not an easy feat. Come on. Obviously, that's that's MVP numbers right there.
And needless to say, the man was German. He was European. And I have to say, the man put Germany on the map for basketball.
Of course.
To name another German NBA player.
He probably created a German revolution in the NBA.
But nonetheless, what else we got?
Okay, 14-time All-Star.
14.
4-time All-NBA first team. 5-time NBA All-NBA second team. He is the one of 3 players. I read this one of 3 players with at least 31,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 3,000 assists, 1,000 steals, 1,000 blocks, and 1,000 3-pointers made.
What?
I don't know about you. That's amazing numbers right there.
Pick that back up.
I will pick that back up because I'm not done yet.
I need to look at that.
All right, so.
Oh my God.
He is 6th all-time in scoring.
He is the 6th all-time leading scorer, ladies and gentlemen.
And Dallas all-time leaders in, get ready for this, games, seasons, points, rebounds, blocks, field goals, 3-point field goals, and free throws.
Yeah, that stays over there now.
Hall of Famer, number 41. You're going to see number 1 in the rafters probably next year.
And you know what? It was awesome to see the reception he got in his final home game, his final away games.
Against the Spurs.
Standing ovation. People understand. People get it. People recognize the greatness. So, nonetheless, this week, our tip of the cap moment goes to 2 men, Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki.
Definitely going to be seeing you in Springfield.
Yeah. Which is weird, by the way, that the Basketball Hall of Fame is in Springfield.
Well, the fact that we're so close to it?
We're close to it, but it's just weird. Is that because basketball was created there? Is that what it was all about? Or
maybe Springfield needed something.
Springfield needs something, because that casino they just built ain't good enough. Anywho.
Okay, before we change the subject about casinos.
I just want to say something about the current NBA state of affairs. Let's be real. The regular season stinks. Doesn't matter.
The NBA playoffs is where it's at.
But
and as you can see,
with anything, just like the NHL playoffs being awesome, I think the NBA playoffs are pretty friggin' awesome. And we really get a feel for what the actual tundra is in the NBA world. Let's talk first about the rest of the teams.
Oh, really? Not my guys?
I know you're excited.
Come on. I've been doing this for like a few minutes.
I know. So we're going to just talk about 2 cool things real quick. The one cool thing, Orlando. Huh?
Yeah, I know. First of all, who would have thought Orlando was going to be making the playoffs?
I mean, granted, yes, it's only 1 game, but it was on the road at Toronto. Wake up, Toronto. You've got some magic at your front door.
Well, that's what happens when Kyle Lowry goes 0 for 7 from the field and gets 0 points.
Kyle Lowry. Mike Lowry. Sorry, that was a little ode to the Miami. By the way, they're filming a new Bad Boys movie.
Oh, yeah, Bad Boys 3.
Yes, heard it on the radio. Dan Lebitard and Stugotz. They were doing live look-ins at the filming. They had Guillermo, Billy, one of their tech guys, go down on the phone, do live call-ins, and says, yeah, we have some extras lining up on the beach over here. They have a dog. And, oh, look, there's a Ferrari flying down Fifth Ave or whatever. Oh, it just did a flip and exploded. And it was awesome. So another little Miami feel thing right there. Just to bring it all back, NBA playoffs.
Yes.
There's some magic happening in Florida. If they can do it, if they can do more than just 1 game, yes, sometimes it's just a hiccup.
You got to think about it.
Hey, Toronto might not wake up.
You never know. Toronto always chokes in the playoffs.
I always agree with that. They were the 1 seed last year.
They were the ones saying they couldn't even beat the Cleveland Cavs. I don't know how that's possible.
It was
disappointing.
It was very disappointing. But they're not an intimidating 1 seed. Yes, Serge Ibaka is resurging and having quite a year.
And Kawhi Leonard.
Is
great, but obviously
Kawhi doesn't like it there.
He doesn't want to play with Toronto.
He doesn't want to play in
He
Toronto.
wants to play in the West Coast. He wants to play in the nice sunny beaches of Los Angeles.
He was literally quoted saying, "So, how are you doing in Toronto?" All he said was, "It's cold." And they asked him, "So, what do you do when you go out?" "It's too cold." So,
okay, first of all, you shouldn't be complaining about the weather. How about the team? You're playing with a nice group of guys. You're playing with Kyle Lowry. You're playing with possibly most improved player, Pascal Siakam, who came out of nowhere. You got Serge Ibaka. You got Marcus Gasol. I don't know about you. I'd be pretty damn happy if I was in Toronto right
but something's going on with Kawhi. There's something going on with the man. He's always been quiet. He's always done it on the court, but you're not going to get the best interview out of him, but there's just something off about his current state. You know, the way it ended in San Antonio.
First of all, I can't even believe that he wanted to leave San Antonio.
Yeah. We don't get all this truth about, stories like that. You heard the story about how they had a team meeting where they all gathered and it was almost like an intervention. They said, "Hey man, please come back. We need you. We need you right now." And something happened. He didn't want to.
He went from an NBA champion to being kicked out of San Antonio within a couple of years.
He kicked himself out. It was weird.
He wanted to get out.
Yeah.
I never heard of anyone wanting to get out of San Antonio.
Playing under one of the best coach probably in basketball.
Greg Popovich. You also had Tim Duncan. You had Tony Parker. You also had Manu Ginobili.
Yeah.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for an NBA player.
So, I don't know if it's looking poorly on him as a person, but Kawhi, you're now in Toronto. Put on a jacket. Do whatever you got to do. Wear some Under Armour. Be a teammate. Figure it out.
Be a good teammate.
Yeah.
All right? It shouldn't be the Kawhi Leonard show. It's the Toronto Raptors show. Yeah. Everybody needs to be involved.
Especially in Toronto.
Yeah, no one needs to deal with your bull crap.
Yeah. So, nice word, by the way. Unlike last week when I had a slip of the lip, slip of the tongue. We'll go across the rest of the league. Some expected things that happened. Boston beat Indiana.
As possible, but look at the scoring though.
84 to 74.
That's like the score at halftime for like any game.
Weird. Portland outdueled OKC. Okay, cool.
Thank God.
Whatever. Neither of them are gonna matter anyways.
Yeah.
Golden State did what they're supposed to.
Golden State is gonna sweep the freaking Clippers. It's not even possible. Yep. Yes, we brought some props in.
I just wanted to do that really badly.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Detroit. Milwaukee beat them by like 70.
Expect another.
Terrible math, but whatever.
Can I see that prop again? This is going to be Milwaukee.
Definitely.
Exactly.
And the Bucks, because the Bucks are a team that actually play right. They beat the bad teams, especially when they're weak. Like you said, they don't have Blake Griffin.
Nope. Blake Griffin was completely non-existent.
Well, he didn't
show
play.
up. Well, he didn't play.
He didn't show up. Where was he? But it's not gonna matter.
It doesn't matter. Blake Griffin or not. The Bucks are absolutely gonna just sweep away the Pistons.
Other things that happened: San Antonio on the road took Game 1 against Denver, 101-96.
Look here, San Antonio 7th seed. Never, ever, ever count out Greg Popovich.
Yeah, Greg Popovich is Greg Popovich. Also, we all know the regular season doesn't matter. Half the teams, actually more than half the teams, make the playoffs. So just be in the dance, be in the last dance, and bring it then. So can't count them out.
Nope, absolutely not.
Final couple things that we expect. Houston beat Utah.
Of course.
We were talking about Utah. I actually had a little respect for them. Remember, I was jonesing on the Jazz.
Yeah.
I'm over it. And how about we lead thusly into the Brooklyn friggin'
Yes.
Nets. They took Game 1.
They took Game 1. Not only did they take Game 1, they absolutely obliterated them.
By the way, they're playing Philly, who is supposed to be the team. Yes, they're a 3 seed, but
they're also the most hated team in the NBA.
Joel Embiid, I'm hating you more and more every day.
He's a punk.
Ben Simmons, learn to shoot. You're in the NBA. Who else they got?
They have JJ
the JJ Redick.
JJ or Jimmy Butler.
Well, either one. They have both.
Okay.
But Jimmy Butler is also one of those weird star, but not a star. A lot of weird stuff is talked about him this offseason.
He has potential. You know what it is? He has potential, but the thing is that his attitude gets in the way. Like the way he handled himself with the Timberwolves. What a mistake that was. Not only did he get traded from the Timberwolves to Philadelphia, Tom Thibodeau also got fired within a couple of days after that.
Is it Tom Thibodeau, or Thom Thibodeau?
Tom Thibodeau. I think that's how you pronounce that. But anyway,
I trust you. You're right. He
handled that poorly.
He handled that very poorly. He was also kind of trying to corner a market that the demand was high, but there was a couple other big free agents, Anthony Davis, other players as such were going to be opened up for options. He was acting as if he was a first-team All-NBA player.
He was acting like if he was more than Anthony Davis, more than Klay Thompson, more than Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, he was a little...
He's none of those.
He's a little full of himself. Nonetheless, he's getting what he deserves. He's down 0-1. Well, actually...
The series is probably going to be tight.
We were going to try watching the game while we were recording.
Okay, here's what happened. It was 65-64 at halftime. Sixers were up.
This is game two.
This is game two tonight. I turned off the TV. They were down by... and then I turned it back on. Then they were down by 20. I'm like, what happened?
The third quarter started with, I think it was a 29-4 run.
And then it ended 16-87. I'm like, okay.
So that means they gave up literally almost 60 points.
They gave up 51 points. It was 51-23. That was...
That's a bad third quarter.
Really bad third quarter. But
I don't care how many great comebacks D'Angelo Russell's had for you guys. They're losing this one.
Yeah, I know. But,
unfortunately.
I know, but sometimes you just can't give up.
They were never going to give up. But
they were down 25 points at one point. They came back, but then again, that was also the Sacramento Kings.
You know who I think should give up, though? We'll get into this later, is the team trainer for the
New York Yankees.
Oh,
you ready to bring up the next prop, or are you going to bring it up a little bit later?
I'm going to bring it up later, because we're going to start with a positive.
Yes.
We're talking about Brooklyn, so let's talk about the Bronx.
Two of the best things that happened in the month of April.
CC Sabathia, welcome back.
Love it.
Man,
Love him.
Hey, you were on a pitch limit. You only threw 62 pitches.
That's fine. He's recovering from an injury. You don't expect him to throw 100 pitches.
And I actually didn't get to catch it, but has he lost some weight?
A little bit of weight.
Has he lost? Because everyone's saying he's not good when he's skinny. He's not good when he's skinny.
Well, think of it this way. He's recovering from heart surgery. So the doctors probably told him, lose a couple of pounds, man.
Yeah. Lay off the hot dogs and beer.
But still have that fire mentality.
That fire, that belly, that fire in that big belly.
Yeah, so not only did he come back on Saturday against the Chicago White Sox, he delivered.
5 innings, 1 hit.
1 hit.
No runs, obviously.
No walks, 3 strikeouts.
Did the man get a W or a no?
He didn't. He got a no decision because the Yankees decided to score in the 7th inning.
Oh, you know what? Let's just talk about it.
Okay.
First off,
the negatives.
The negatives.
Oh, I've got plenty of them.
Because you said it. They aren't scoring. They aren't
manufacturing runs.
Before we get into that, I'm just going to bring out the next prop because here's some ibuprofen.
Oh, man.
Hey, Yankees.
Wake up.
Just do something that is not going to injure you. Lift with your legs if you're lifting something heavy, not your back. Try walking straight and not rolling an ankle. I don't know what's going on in New York.
How about the biggest thing? How about doing some stretches after doing a workout?
What is happening? We're the most injured MLB team. I'm just going to quickly go down the list of the players that matter because I'm leading off Ben Heller and Jacoby Ellsbury, who...
Oh, man.
Gross. Hey, Jacoby, I'm only going to like you if you actually come back and help us.
If you hit 50 home runs, I'll like you.
No.
I know that's not going to happen.
If you hit 5, I'll like you. That's not saying that much. Here are the injuries.
I kind of need that bottle of ibuprofen if you're going to be listing these injuries. Thank you. Okay, I'm ready.
Dylan Betances.
Oh!
Getting shut down. At first, they thought it was just shoulder inflammation. Oh, guess what? It's a bone spur. Next,
Shut down for 6 to 7 weeks, by the way.
Severino. At first, they thought just rotator cuff tendonitis. Guess what? It's a grade 2 lateral strain.
He's also shut down for a few weeks. You may not see him until after the All-Star break, which is not until July.
We'll be lucky. We'll be lucky if that. Hey, guess what? Gary Sanchez.
Oh, man, the only guy on the team that was actually producing.
The man who batted like 2, and I don't mean like 102, I mean like 2 last year, actually started hitting some home runs.
He had 6 home runs.
He had a home run while we were at the game in the bathroom, but he had a home run at the game we went to. And I saw him have a 2 home run game a couple days ago.
He also had a 3 home run game in Baltimore, the final game, which they won 15-3.
Hey.
But then also he had the go-ahead double in Houston that eventually the Yankees screw that up. I was very close to saying it again.
We're going to get into that in a sec, because I'm going to keep going with the injuries. Troy Tulowitzki.
Oh, come on. You knew he was going to get
Thanks for
injured.
playing for a week.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Troy. You know, you're playing for your heroes team. You grew up loving Derek Jeter, and way to represent shortstop.
Derek Jeter would not be happy with you, my man.
Not at all. He also has a calf strain, but don't worry, everyone. Don't worry. Aaron Boone said it's low grade.
How many times have I said this? I said that Troy Tulowitzki should not be the starting shortstop.
It should be.
It should have been Glaber, and you put DJ LeMahieu at second. That's the opening day lineup.
The man's batting like 450
How many times did I say DJ at second, Glaber at short?
every day.
I said it every day, and clearly my words don't mean anything.
Well, guess what? Moving down the list, Miguel Andujar. Andujar is not doing anything on the field right now because he has a labrum tear in his shoulder.
But he did some throwing. He did a couple of long tosses.
He threw a
So
long toss.
that's a good
That's
sign.
a good sign.
But you gotta be very, very, very
You know,
gentle
honestly,
with this guy.
at the game we were at, it was so cold. Both him and Glaber, who are Latin American players, they were wearing like full ninja suits with the Under Armour wrapped around their whole body. You could tell the cold doesn't work with these guys well. Just in particular, Miguel Andujar had a swing where it looked like he crushed a double. The left fielder started going back, and no, it was a kerplunker. It honestly looked like he crushed it, and it was a dink. So maybe he got it off the hands, maybe he swung with it, but something looked weird and jammy there. Then, when he threw that ball from third, we saw that arm angle. We're like, that looked gross.
Yeah, also...
Something happened, man.
That was on that pickoff, when he almost got picked off.
Oh, yeah. That was bad. That's where it probably actually happened.
That is when it happened.
That is when it happened.
And then it got worse from the throws and from his hitting. You could tell
his
something was
little
off.
jinky dink swing.
Yeah.
Moving down the list,
All right.
as I drop the pen, Aaron Hicks.
The most underrated outfielder in all of Major League Baseball.
Come on, guy. Come on.
He's coming back soon, though.
He's got a lower back strain. We all know
He'll be back
backs. He'll be back soon because his back is less strained. But you know what? Backs are serious. Let's take it slow.
Yep.
Giancarlo Stanton, bicep strain.
Work it. Come on.
You can't even see my bicep because my skin is so pale and I have no definition. But good grief!
Look at this.
How do you strain this? How do you? It's blind. I'm sorry. I'm blinding children. Nobody look.
You know what it is? He hit so many home runs that his bicep couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I think he's prepared to hit the ball off of a tee soon. So
Okay, good.
So
Well, he can play
hopefully-
T-ball soon. That's great.
hopefully by the end of the month.
Oh my god.
Hopefully by the end
terrible.
of the Hopefully by the end of the month we get to see Big G in the lineup again.
Get back soon, please.
Okay.
And the last two on the list, both Tommy John, Jordan Montgomery.
He'll be back in
You
like
know,
maybe...
we could use that arm, but who I'm more upset about, Tommy John.
Oh no.
DD. Sir DD Gregorius.
I love you, Didi. Please don't. Please just take your time.
Just
We would love to have you back
Oh.
and play shortstop. We will also love you to have you play for many years as shortstop
yes,
for the New York
that's
Yankees.
the key. The man took over the captain's spot, and the man did it smoothly.
But here's the one problem. Because he's recovering from the Tommy John, is it going to affect his value when he becomes a free agent at the end of the season?
Well, actually, it could work for us because people are going to worry about his injury status. We'll have all the inside intel in New York. Maybe we'll make him appear injured and then get him at a lower price.
$1 million. But
was
anyway,
great.
Didi Gregorius.
We miss you, bud.
The dude needs to be a Yankee for life.
Please, gotta keep him there.
I don't care that he'll be 30 soon. He deserves to be in Pinstripes for life. I can't imagine seeing him in another team.
No, me neither. Doesn't work. Didn't work.
You need to stay a Yankee. Literally, I picked you in almost every fantasy franchise draft in MLB. I picked Didi Gregorius pretty much every time.
And if you think about it, like, when he first came up, it was the glove that everyone was admiring. His beautiful glove, the way he played. He had a couple Jeterian throws. Has a very strong arm for a shortstop. The man.
Oh, the dude is a
bullet.
The dude's a 5'2" player.
Cannon.
He's great.
But then, his hitting was what started taking
so
off.
improved. You know what it is? He took advantage of Yankee Stadium. He
did.
knew he could hit the ball because he's a lefty.
Yeah.
He could hit it down in 314, 330 because you knew he was going to go deep.
And he does use all fields. What is good about that short porch and right is he is a great breaking ball hitter.
Oh, yeah. He takes advantage of it.
He can hit breaking balls. He can crush it, and with that short porch, a couple of them will go over the fence. Didi, you slap those balls to the opposite field with fastballs. You can see inside. You can see outside. You hit strong to both gaps. You were just every tool we need, except for being a bad kind of tool.
Yeah, all right.
We miss you.
Here's the one thing that Didi does that not a lot of people are doing right now. Driving in runs.
I love the way you did that. Hey, what was the theme last year?
Runners in scoring position, not capitalizing.
We would have a guy lead off with a double.
Okay, good job.
Anytime that happens, the cliche, get a grounder over to the first side, get them into third,
and then
sack fly, anything.
Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. Basics of baseball. A leadoff double was almost, I don't even want to say it, but last year was gross. There was a time one time we had the bases loaded and nobody out. Oh, wait a minute. There was 8 times, I looked this stat up, 8 times last year where we had bases loaded and nobody out, where we didn't score a single run.
I remember one of them, and I still have it in my mind. I kind of want to mention it right now.
Mention it right now.
Okay, bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom the 9th inning. I think it was a game against the Tampa Bay. It was a game against the Tampa Bay Rays. Bottom of 9th. Greg Bird. First pitch swinging, by the way. Never ever do that in the bottom of the 9th. And he pops it up. I remember he caught it. I'm like, no.
Straight up.
Literally, it was so high in the air.
That does happen.
And I think the next 2 batters struck out.
Yep. I remember.
I'm like
swinging.
I think one of them was Romine and the other guy was, I don't know.
Glaber, I think.
I don't know. But the point is that take advantage.
The game needs to come to you. They last year they were going for it. They were attacking. Let it come to you, just like a pitch, just like a changeup, off speed. You see it deep. You take your time. You hit it tops of the field. Stay within yourself. Don't become too big. The moment is as big as it is. Greg Bird in that moment, he's probably trying to elevate.
He's trying to hit the grand slam, the walk-up grand slam.
Hit a dink single or get the ball to the outfield.
I would have been okay with the sac fly right there.
But it was gross watching them with runners in scoring position last year. Second and third, nobody out. Second and third, 1 out. How many times would a guy strike out or pop the ball up or just have a productive out?
That was also one of the reasons why we lost last year against the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. No.
So many runners in scoring position, especially.
And with the old style Yankees not being here anymore, we used to be down 4-1, 6-1, and we knew we were still in the game because we had the long ball on our side.
Of course.
Jason Giambi would come up. Tino Martinez would come up.
Hideki Matsui, A-Rod,
yes.
couple of guys.
Those are perfect examples. They could come up and change. All of a sudden, a walk and a little ground out single turns into a 3-run home run, and we're right back in the game. We do not see that anymore. Yes, they were one of the league leaders in home runs, but it's untimely. It got to get back to the basics of small ball. The other day we were talking. There was not a suicide squeeze, a safety squeeze.
I thought it was a suicide squeeze, but I guess I made a mistake on that. But the point is that...
Real quick, for those who do not know or who do not care, I'm going to make you care right now. The difference between a safety squeeze and a suicide squeeze.
Oh, it definitely matters. You got to mention this.
Third base, runner on third base, less than 2 outs. It's when the runner... Suicide squeeze. The runner steals, runs as the pitcher's throwing, and the hitter is squared up early. He is not trying to hide it. He has to make contact. get the ball down. Don't pop it up. Let him catch it and throw it to third. The suicide squeeze is you get the ball down. I don't care if the ball's in the dirt. You're trying to just do anything you can, get it in the field. Ball trickles in, runner crosses the plate. They can take all the time in the world to throw the guy out at first because it doesn't matter. The run scores and it counts. Safety squeeze is when it's a very touchy thing, and it's actually a very old-style baseball move. All you really see now is suicide squeeze, but safety squeeze is when we saw Tyler Wade. There was a runner on first and third, and only one out.
Yep.
You know, to avoid a double play, a safety squeeze is a great idea. I loved seeing Yankees go small ball. Tyler Wade, who's a great bunter, took it down the third opposite field, the third base line.
As which you should do.
Saw it down.
Perfect.
The runner sees it as soon as the ball goes dink and starts rolling away from the pitcher.
Yep.
He breaks. Guy was the fielder's charging. He goes for the one-hand grab. The runner's already 8 feet from home.
Yep.
Run crosses. Tyler Wade almost had a hit on that, but was thrown out at first, but he did the job.
That's how we score our third run.
Small ball, ladies and gentlemen. Yankees need to... Yes, we can hit the home runs, but
Not right now, considering we have a bunch of guys that are literally AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre right now.
Because Kyle Higashioka is coming up to take the place of Gary, and Austin Romine is having some issues.
Austin Romine is like 2018 Gary Sanchez, and that's not a good thing.
Yes. So I do have to say, we need to get back to the basics and score some runs the old-fashioned way.
How about fundamentals?
Fundamentals.
That's one of the reasons why we got swept by Houston. Don't sleep on Houston. They're still a great team. They still have Altuve. They still have Correa. They still have Justin Verlander. They still have Garrett Cole. They'll take advantage.
You forgot George Springer.
Oh, yeah, your buddy, George Springer.
But guess what? He said it. We had a lead in all three of those games. This is this past week, by the way. This isn't.
This was last week.
This is last week.
Literally last week, we were talking about how happy we were that we swept the Baltimore Orioles. We ended the third game on a high note.
Yeah. Here we come. Here we go.
And then literally, unfortunately, this is also the anniversary of the Titanic too. This is what happened.
Is it really?
It is. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Yankees went down like the Titanic.
Oh boy. That's a good one. I'll leave it there.
Here's what happened.
Is it too soon? Too soon?
Just a little bit. Maybe like 100 years.
It's not 100 years yet. Didn't it go down in
1920? Nope,
1912. You're right.
107 yeres
Still
too soon. But anyway, that's
not too soon.
Okay, I really digressed at that point.
But
the point is,
making a quick little scrimmage joke about a thousand deaths or whatever. That's a
and also a
digress.
And also,
get it?
And also,
no, that wasn't good either.
I also gotta say this.
I'll digress.
It's also a creation of a 3-hour movie that my friend Robert Ludin could somehow memorize every line. That's a shout out to you, my friend.
There you go. There's a shout out.
Yeah.
James Cameron, Titanic, 97. Rose, when she's laying on the couch.
Jack, I'm flying.
Just saying. Okay.
Back to Houston.
Sports.
Back in 2019. The one problem is, I don't think anyone has recognized this. One of the few reasons why we got swept by Houston is because our bullpen was absolutely atrocious.
Ugh.
Do you think one of the reasons why is that they're probably overworked?
Oh, James, I think you make a very valuable point. And why are they being overworked, James?
Because the starting pitcher can't last 5 to 6 innings without throwing 1,000 pitches.
The DNA of our wins last year was okay at that fact because the bullpen was nasty.
Done.
We had Robertson, Betances,
Chad Green,
very underrated.
We also had Britton and Chapman to wrap it all up.
Yeah. Okay, so
and then here's the one problem that I got. Besides not only the bullpen, there's no fire. There's no spark. Aaron Boone every game says we're one game closer to turning the corner. How about you do it already?
How about you actually have some fire? You're absolutely right, James.
Get ejected.
Where is the Nick Swisher? Where is the
Joe Girardi?
Where is the
There's like literally nobody has a spark. Not even Aaron Judge.
See, that's the thing. Hold on, wait. You're right. Because we do know that baseball is a war of attrition. It is a long, slow, seemingly paced game with very high impact moments. But Aaron Judge, who had this hero and judge and jury and executioner thing, kind of like an all rise kind of came upon him. He didn't, seek the glory. He just is glorious.
Because you know what it is? He's the definition of a leader. And you know when
by example.
When
exactly.
when he's down, you know there's a problem.
Yeah. And when he's not going to be the guy, but here's the thing. He is a leader by example, like you said.
I agree.
He is going to hit some bombs. He's going to hit some clutch hits. But the man's also never going to go, yeah! He is just a humble pie. A slice of humble pie. And that's great. Jeter was great in that way, too. But we had a Nick Swisher or somebody like a Jorge Posada that would look over at the Red Sox dugout and give a middle finger or do something pretty intense.
Oh, yeah.
We need a brawl. We need a fight.
I want a brawl.
We need CC Sabathia to plunk somebody. Because
you should plunk Mookie Betts tomorrow against the Red Sox.
But I like Mookie.
I
said
do
it.
too. You know
We said it.
Hey, mad respect to Mookie Betts.
Mad respect.
Who definitely deserved MVP, although JD Martinez should have.
Oh, JD.
JD,
you're
don't
nasty.
count out the Red Sox.
But Mookie right now is only batting like 210.
He blamed himself. He blames himself for the Red Sox struggle.
That's a leader. I love that. I gotta respect that. And we are 6-9, and the Red Sox are 6-10 or whatever, 6-11.
We call this series the Battle of Mediocrity
because let's see what happens.
It's a quick 2-game series at Yankee Stadium, and when you have a team that's combined 12-19, oh boy. And the Rays are first place right now, and I think the Orioles are slightly better than us right now. That's a problem.
Yikes. But we all know, like we said, it's a war of attrition.
It's only 15 games, too.
We're 15 games in on a 162-game season.
It's also still very cold in April. You never know. The weather's going to heat up. Next thing you know, the big bats come out.
Yeah, the big bats. With that being said...
Okay, where we go?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about the biggest bat in a different sport.
Oh, yes.
Tiger Woods is back.
Come on.
Woo!
Now, you know me.
Woo!
Another fun fact. It is April 15th. It is tax day.
And James, I like to say a little pun here. It is very taxing for James to watch golf. Can't blame him.
Unless if it's Happy Gilmore, because I love that movie.
Fair. But... this is where maybe you'll start to like watching golf.
Because of Tiger Woods?
Because of Tiger Woods. The man moves the needle. He does. That's a little shout out to Brian Soda. I'm sure somebody else said it, but he's the only one I remember. The man changes everything. My friend, my boss and friend, and he calls me the goofy, slightly idiotic half brother, but I'm going to give a little shout out to him.
Well, you are goofy and slightly idiotic.
I am, of course. He is the GM, the higher-up of Tumblebrook Country Club, where I tend some bar. And he made a very, very interesting point on how Tiger Woods just changed his bottom line by multiple thousands of dollars. Here's why. He made up a great, great stat. He says, yesterday, 5 million people watched golf that normally wouldn't, because there's a much higher number that always does watch golf and was watching. But yesterday there was 5 million people that watched golf and got a pulse for it. Of those 5 million, 2 million are going to want to go out there and play golf. So now what happens is all these courses, especially public courses, get loaded with first-time golfers. And let's be honest, that's going to create a 18 holes that it should be 4 hour. It's now going to be 6 hours because it's just going to be clogged arteries at the turn. A lot of bad players out there. So what does that do? A lot of people say, hey, screw this. The people that have been playing golf the whole time, of those 2 million, 1 million of those are going to go to a private course, which Tumblebrook is. And he says, hey, that gives me memberships, that gives us action, and that changes the bottom line.
More revenue.
More moolah, baby.
More revenue.
Tiger Woods affects everyone. The needle, the money, and the pulse.
I will have to say...
God, I love Tiger.
I will have to say this. You know me. I do not like golf.
Yeah.
But...
cheeks.
Hearing.
Keep going.
Okay. What did you just do right there?
You can't pause. You have to keep rolling. You got to keep rolling.
You got to respect what you did. 5th green jacket.
Yeah.
13 under par. I don't even watch it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, he had a two-stroke lead going into the final hole on Brooks Koepka. And it's weird because they play 4 rounds, 13 under.
That's pretty impressive.
These little tiny things. Brooks Koepka had a couple of missed putts. You know, you're playing 72 holes. One birdie would have made it go to a playoff, but he had a 2-stroke lead, Tiger did, going into the final hole. He had about a 15-footer. He needed a 2-putt to win. And it curved, and just lipped out. Tiger, like a bat flipped the putter, caught it so sexily, by the way. The man has flow, even when he doesn't do something right.
Even though
but
he's also a bit older in age.
Here's the real. He was playing the course intelligently. Jack Nicklaus came on the Golf Channel, got interviewed, and was saying, look at the way he approached every green. Each green has a specific narrative to it, especially each day with a different pin location. Tiger was brilliant. He knew the course so well. He would hit the ball, if the pin was over here and the hill was like this, he didn't hit it at the pin, he hit it over here and it rolled right to where it should have been. He was approaching every green from beautiful angles because he set himself up well. He was great off the tee, which is usually the thing that Tiger's a little weird at, but he can save himself, hit some miracle shots out of the woods, and he can recover woods in the woods. But he was great off the tee, great strike on the long irons. He would hit 238 on, I think it was the 15th, 16th, or, it was the 15th hole. Either one. It was the one with water right in front of it, where they have to hit a bomb drive and then hit a 240-yard iron, which, let me put this in perspective. If I hit my 4-iron as hard and as good as I can hit it, it might be in the air for 180, 190, and roll to about 210. These guys had to land an iron 240 because there is nothing but water right in front of the green. So that puts some perspective in how nasty all of these guys are and how great Tiger was. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's back. So many people said, and I'm sorry if I keep ranting about this, but I love
That's
the
fine.
man.
That's fine. Go for it.
He had 2 back surgeries. 2. After the second one golf analyst said he went over to visit him and Tiger couldn't even get out of his chair. To say nonetheless, golf is a sport where you need your entire body, but the torque that happens with your core and your lower back to some of these shots, because the way you stand, the way you adjust your footing, the way you swing through the ball affects its flight path. It's going to either draw or fade. It's going to, have topspin, have backspin, curve to the hole, don't. Curve up, go past a bunker. Any little touch thing is he had to relearn every one of those types of swings and re-strengthen his back. And need I say, the man looks amazing. He doesn't look too bulky. He doesn't look too muscular. He's very cut. He's still very strong. And Tiger, you looked great. I am just so happy that he's back.
He's having his moment right now.
I know. I'm sorry.
You know what it is?
I went off. I love the man.
You went off. I went off about my Yankees and my Nets.
That's
and
true.
all
That's
that
true.
Stuff. So you know what it is?
I got my Tiger.
We call that balance.
That is good balance.
Very solid balance. But Tiger Woods being one of the most iconic athletes out there, you got to give a round of applause to him.
Yeah, because listen, the man's personal life was
a train wreck over the last couple of years.
Thrown into all of our faces. Yes, like we said with these athletes and D Wade and all that, these guys are seen as heroes, and no matter what they do,
he still is a hero
off of their field or off of their court. They have a certain level of societal respect or honor to uphold. Tiger, that mugshot.
Oh, yes.
With all the painkillers.
Still haunts
the painkillers he took. He looked a little funky, to say the least.
He looked like this.
And then I'm going to be very careful with what I say next.
Okay.
The egregious but pretty bad things he did, not what he did actually, but how many different women he cheated. He cheated on his wife. Elle Woods.
That's
clear. Not good. That is not good. But I'm not bailing him out at all by saying this. But if you are the number 1 athlete in the world, especially in a sport that brings in the most money to the players, need I say, every tournament gives a winner $1 million. That's like saying every week in basketball, the team that wins the series, this one player gets $1 million. Like, just think of how much money is in golf. All I'm saying is having the most elite women throw themselves at you. I just am not judging. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to get in his personal life and judge the man. So many people ripped him to shreds. And yes, I can say cheating on your wife, that's a
just
big
cheating.
no.
Cheating in
cheating on anyone. Cheating on a test is totally okay. But cheating on a partner,
all right then,
undoable.
Don't listen to him if you have a test tomorrow. Don't listen to him.
Well, if you have a test tomorrow, do what I did.
What?
In college, make sure you sit. Actually, this is not going to be good.
No, this may not be the best.
I'm going to say it anyways. Sit diagonally from somebody who looks pretty smart, I should say, and make sure you can see over their unwriting shoulder. If they're a lefty, go over their right shoulder. If they're a righty, go over their left shoulder. Make sure you know which version I'm kidding. I'm not going to get into the details of how I survived college.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if I feel that someone is right behind me, should I just switch hands? I'd be like,
yes.
Okay, I'm going to go like
Curve
this.
that shoulder and block them out.
I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm stretching.
I'm just trying to make light of the cheating thing. I know, it's not good. Not good. But
I just threw my pen, too.
But look at the narrative. Tiger, no one thought back surgeries, the negative connotation with all the sex and the sex addiction and going to rehab for all that. The man is back.
We call that a great comeback story.
And we waited a long time. It was a while.
It took years.
He kind of would come back and not make the cut, and we'd be like, ugh.
It took like, what was it, that incident he had happened back in 2009, right?
I don't know.
I think it was in Thanksgiving Day of like 2009 or somewhere around there, and then that's when you knew that things were about to fall apart.
That's a decade ago.
Yeah,
a decade.
I know.
And thankfully, the good thing about golf is you can still be in your prime at the age of 43, which I believe he is. 43?
Somewhere around
there.
Yeah.
So the man can play for another 10, 15 years and be in a true prime for another 5 to 8. He could be killer elite. So, like James said, he just got his 5th green jacket. He needs.
See, I knew that.
He did know that. He needs one more to tie Jack Nicklaus. So.
Wow, 6 green jackets.
6 green jackets.
Set up your closet, my friend.
And he needs 3 more majors to tie Jack Nicklaus, 4 to become the all-time leader in majors victories. So I think a big stamp on it too is he didn't do it at the Players. He didn't do it at the British Open or the Open. He did it at the Masters. That is very, very cool. That's a statement, and the rest of the field is trembling.
Oh, yeah. You feel the golf buzz.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like, what was it? People were asking me about the Masters. I'm like, you're asking the wrong person. I'm sorry.
Hey, but guess what? People like Justin Thomas, who always play awesome and then choke on the final day. People like Dustin Johnson, who has a beautiful partner and has probably way too much sex with them and has clearly lost his gusto. He always, down the stretch, has a couple clutch birdies, but he's already dug himself too much of a hole to get out of it. People like Xander Schauffele, or Schauffele, as I like to say.
Souffle? That's his name?
Kinda.
Oh, okay.
Jason Day, by the way, hurt his back on the first hole by picking up his son. Lift with your legs, a theme of the day. Other people like Phil Mickelson, who... Public opinion's kind of going up and down with him right now because the whole gambling thing, whatever, who cares? But the marker, the whole Vegas thing, like some commercial, instead of giving him a contract, just paid off his Vegas marker at some casino. Then there was the other weird, shady thing, trading, whatever. Anyways, still, there's Phil. You've got Matt Kuchar. You've got all these great guys, and every single one of them is like, go. Yeah.
I never knew this side about you, by the way. That was actually very impressive.
Well, thank you. I was always a baseball player, and golf and baseball kind of coincide, and people always say, don't do it. It's going to ruin your swing. Actually...
It's similar in a way.
It is similar in a way. The power comes from the core.
Power from the... that was in the hips.
In the core.
Oh, yeah.
Core. Hips, legs, thighs. But it's not in the arms. A lot of people like noodle it, and that's why they stink, and that's why they have no power. Golf is also, like baseball, all
mental.
So mental.
It's actually not... It's not... all sports are mental.
Yeah, I should
think
say
about it.
hitting a 95-mile-an-hour fastball is one of the hardest things to do in sports. But also hitting a small ball this big with a stick
And hitting it
with a face this big, having to go 1,200 feet away in only 4 shots. That's 400 yards. Yeah,
That's about 400. That's about 400 yards.
So yeah, at par 4, 400 yards. That's also ridiculous.
you have to break it down little by little.
Yeah, so both sports are insane. So it eats people alive. So in their heads, you got to stand strong. And I always thought it best to not think about it. When people try to get in your head and bother you and disrupt you and say, "Oh, you're gonna ruin your swing during baseball season. No, you're gonna ruin your your hitting streak. You're gonna have a terrible golf day."
Yeah. How about this?
No.
Mind your own business and let the guys do their own thing.
Thank you, James. I second that motion. And also, like all great athletes, eliminate the BS in your mind. Just do you. The less that's swirling, the more you become of the natural moment, and you could almost hover your own body and watch yourself do it. So that's where the true athletes are. They are no mind. One of my favorite lines in The Last Samurai, when Tom Cruise is having a tough time learning how to joust with these, or duel with these samurais, too many mind. You mind your opponent. You mind the weapon in your hand. You mind your defense. Too many mind. I love that quote by the Japanese samurai.
That's a good quote.
That was a good quote. Eliminate it. Just be it.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself. Be the guy that needs to do the job. So, as we are heading down the stretch here,
I know.
we've had quite a fun one. This was fast.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to point out a couple other funny things that happened. Ooh, I wanted to say, before we get into your whole car thing,
Oh, yeah.
cable. I don't know what's going on, but we were just watching TV, and what was that?
YouTube TV.
I didn't even know there was YouTube TV.
Oh, it's the best.
So supposedly, can you get apps such as Roku? No.
No, that's not how that works. It's
Okay.
it's kind of different. It's not like that.
Okay. But it's like Sling, right? It's where you
Kind
get
of.
like a package deal.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's like $40. You get like 50 channels, something like that.
See, that's cool, because that's where we're headed, ladies and gentlemen. It's
because it's cheaper than actually TV.
it's a la
It's
carte
like
TV.
it's like half of it. People spend like hundreds and hundreds of dollars
They're
for
forced
channels
to.
that they don't even watch.
They're forced to. There's cable packages where it makes you get internet, phone. Who uses a landline anymore? And also,
Do you even know what a landline is?
do you know what a landline is?
Because I do.
I don't. But I also don't like phones in general, and technology and social media, as you know, and we're trying to figure that out.
I think we've all had this conversation about this last week.
But my goodness, that was awesome to see the YouTube TV. I'm just saying, cable options these days, it's a la carte. People want choice. They don't want to be stuck with 9 million things when they only want one. I'm the guy who walks in the house and turns on ESPN, and it's just all I need. Yes,
Are you kidding me?
I'm forced to go to other channels like Yes, because I love Yes and I want my Yankees. But it's like when this sport's on CBS and that sport's on NBC and that sport's on Fox. It's okay. Give me the sports channels and just give me some cable provider. Don't make me have to pay all this money just for the one thing I want. They're holding off, but it's soon coming with streaming such as our show, our podcast, Life in Pinstripes. We have technological outlets that we did not have before.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just blown away by it. And why don't we end this awesome episode, by the way,
Oh yeah, this is definitely fun. And by the way,
with a quirky little funny story.
Okay, so today I have to go to Starbucks to upload our last video because the Wi-Fi is 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
There was a monsoon outside, and it was nice and warm before the monsoon.
It was a
happened.
monsoon. It came down.
Until I realized this, that when I was done with the uploading, I noticed my inside of my car was wet. Only to learn that I left my window open. And the worst part was
Give him the punchline.
my favorite Led Zeppelin album got ruined.
Oh, boy.
And one of the songs was called the Rain Song.
Oh, that's ironic.
How ironic.
Your father did point that out. Very ironic. Led Zeppelin, one of the songs, Rainstorm. Oh, Rainstorm ruined the CD. Full circle moment there. And as we are coming to an end of our episode, this has come full circle, and I thank you.
Yes.
What's that social media stuff people can reach us at, James?
All right, so once again, Twitter, Life Pinstripes, JM21, Stolzenberg TJ.
Stolzenberg TJ.
Life in Pinstripes.
Life in Pinstripes.
On Instagram.
And
all those other beautiful things. We still got to work on our Facebook page.
Yeah. But hit us up. Go to Facebook, go to whatever.
Comments, thoughts. Do you think the Nets are going to go far? Are the Yankees going to turn it around? Is Tiger Woods going to have 20,000 more jackets?
Let's go, baby.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be right back here next week.
Who are you?
I am James Evan.
Who am I?
You're the Stolzenberg of TJ.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, watch us next week. Rock and or roll.